Kitsap County is raising salmon as part of our Salmon in the Classroom program. Follow our salmon's journey as they grow and are released into Clear Creek.
Hi, I'm Cami Mills with Kitsap County Public Works. Welcome back to Tank Talk. It's been a while since we've seen you, and I'm so excited today because it's mid-November and we're here at Chico Creek
for return of the salmon.
That's right, the salmon are coming back. Last time we saw you, we were releasing young salmon into the stream to start their journey to the ocean. Now, we're back to see adult salmon returning to their home stream. There are lots of places in Kitsap County for you to see salmon returning to spawn. If you come to see them, you may see females digging their bed or protecting their nest. You may see males fighting to spawn with females. You may also see salmon resting. Remember, they stop eating when they return to spawn, so sometimes they need to rest and conserve their energy. These salmon left the stream between 3 and 5 years ago and may have traveled as far as 3,000 miles to be right here, right now. That's the equivalent of us driving from Chico Creek here all the way to Boston, Massachusetts. And they'd beat the odds to get here. A female salmon will lay thousands of eggs, and from those, only 1 or 2, maybe 3 will survive to come back and spawn. So what happens between the time salmon hatch and now? Today, we're going to talk about their time in the ocean and how salmon are connected to other species, including their connection to humans. Let's go to University of Washington Sea Grant marine ecologist Jeff Adams to learn more.
Thanks, Cami, and hi, everybody. And I'm happy to take some questions.
What kind of salmon live in Kitsap streams?
Well, great question. There are only 5 salmon species that are anadromous, that swim up and spawn in the fresh water, swim out to sea to grow. And that includes the chum and the coho, which are regular visitors and spawners in Kitsap streams. The Chinook, which like big rivers, and they're a big salmon. The sockeye salmon and the pink salmon. Sockeyes like lakes, and pink salmon also like the lower parts of big rivers. Pinks, sockeyes, and Chinook use our shorelines in Kitsap County. The shorelines here are super, super important for that migration for those fish, but they don't necessarily use the streams as much. The streams here are really important for chum. We get a lot of chum come to Kitsap streams, and coho. A lot of coho uses streams.
Why are salmon important to the ecosystem?
Why are salmon important to the ecosystem? That's a really great question. They play a lot of roles, and it's not just the ecosystem. It's all these different places where they are a big part of the ecosystem, a big part of the food web. They eat a lot of things eat them. In the streams, they're also actually, when they spawn, they're stirring up the gravel. They're kind of clearing out some of the fine stuff that's in there, letting that wash out. They're almost like bulldozers in the stream, cleaning it up, getting it ready. And they eat the young and the salmon that stay around in the stream for a while. They'll eat a variety of bugs and other fish. While they're there, a lot of other things are eating them. Over 100 species, maybe over 130, are feeding on salmon and relying on salmon as part of their life cycle. So in each of these ecosystems, in the freshwater, the watersheds, in the saltwater, in the estuaries, and even out in the ocean, they serve as food for a lot of things. They feed on a lot of organisms. They're just a really important part of the food webs and in those different ecosystems. And also they bring back a lot of nutrients. So they're moving so far out into the ocean and back here to the watersheds that they bring all the nutrients and growth that they build up out in the ocean back to the streams, and then that gets spread around. You can even find evidence of salmon in trees up in the tops of watersheds because they've had such an important role in that.
Why are salmon important to people?
Well, just like salmon are important to their ecosystems, they do play a lot of important roles in people's lives. You know, many of us like to eat them. They're a very good source of protein and good omega-3s and good things for our bodies. Long time they've been critical for the Salish people here. You know, it's some primary driver as a food source, just these predictable runs that come back and bring food back every year for the peoples that have lived here in time immemorial. So between the economics, the nutrition, and also they are a good indicator of how we're treating the environment we're living in. You know, if the salmon aren't successful, there's probably something that we can modify in our behaviors or the ways we live in the watersheds to help protect them and make sure that they can continue being an important part of the ecosystem and in our lives.
Thanks, Jeff. Salmon are really important for the people, plants, and animals that live here. That's why it's so important that we do as much as we can to keep their water clean and healthy. And there's lots that kids and adults can do to help salmon. Reducing car trips, keeping tires properly inflated, fixing vehicle leaks, and practicing natural yard care are all things that we can do to help salmon. And the salmon will thank you. If you want to learn more about salmon, you can see more of our Tank Talk videos and follow salmon on their journey from egg to the ocean. Go to kcowa.us/salmon tank. Thanks for watching.
I really am getting really excited.